Think about the messiest person you know, past, present, or probably even future too. I bet you it's a man. So, I am reading my textbook for class. We are going over the colonial press from 1690 to 1765. And we get to a point where we're talking about the first continuously published newspaper in America, which was the Boston Newsletter, founded by James Campbell, right? So he didn't have any reporters, he didn't have any correspondents, so he used to have to go down to the ships with his pen and his notepad and be like, "What y'all got going on over there in Britain?" So he didn't really talk about the colonial news because he felt like it was kind of redundant to report the colonial news because people in the colonies should know what's going on in the colonies. But he was more interested in the things that were, overseas. And so when the ships would come into the docks, he used to be like, "What y'all got going on over there? What y'all got on there?" So I can go to the merchants and they can, support me. And then he used to get the gossip, and then he used to run back and he used to tell it, and he used to print it. But hold on, this is where it gets like messy. The third newspaper that Boston had is called the New England Courant. The people involved in the founding and the printing of that: John Chickley, Dr. William Douglas, and James Franklin, Benjamin Franklin's older brother. The whole purpose of that paper was to destroy the Puritan clergy's popularity so that Anglicanism could be established as the official church in Boston, Massachusetts. All right. So boom. The pastor, the Reverend Cotton Mather, at that time, he was like, "Oh, y'all y'all trying to take me down? Y'all trying to do something with the Puritan agenda? I'm not really feeling that." So his supporters went and they wrote a broadside, which is basically just a critical attack on somebody and what they're doing and what they got going on. And they got that out to the people. Now, Chickley, he didn't take too kind to that. So when the third issue of the New England Courant came out, he wrote in that paper basically, he said, "Bitch, keep my name out your mouth. And while we at it, let's talk about your nephew, bitch." The girls were fighting. Are you with me, class? Because that whole battle was only the beginning of the New England Courant. It's kind of establishing itself as like more of a controversial newspaper, but that wasn't really their goal, to use controversy to get people to tune in. They were just kind of like, we're trying to get rid of this Puritan agenda and establish the Anglicanism, religion here. But in New England, Massachusetts, commerce was the main lifeline. So they needed their ships coming from Great Britain to go into their ports so that they can get the supplies. Merchants can do this, do that, and they can survive in the way that they needed to, right? And so at some point, people had started noticing, like, I think it's some pirate ships over there on the coast. Like, I think they waiting for our ships. Can y'all do something about this, governor? Like, what are you doing? Governor, do something. And in June of 1722, the Courant printed an item about a pirate vessel marauding near the coast and reported that the government was outfitting a ship to pursue it. And in quotes, it says, "Sometime this month, with weather permitting, with wind and weather permitting." So basically, they working on it, allegedly. They said they're going to get to it. That made the people kind of mad, and then that also made Governor Shute, that made him mad by the insinuation. And so he induced the general court to order James Franklin to 3 weeks in jail. This is where it gets funny to me because, while he was in jail, Franklin did apologize and he was like, "Okay, y'all got me. Y'all got it pimp. And I'm not going to do it again. I promise you I won't." But, however, he was no sooner out of jail than he printed a column of satirical verse belittling the general court for jailing him. And then the paper had continued attacking the government on all fronts. But that was just kind of funny to me because he had basically got in that newspaper and said, "Nan, the boo-boo bitch, you thought." But yeah, a little history lesson, the girls was fighting.